Hello, welcome to Mart's garage. Here you can see my pickup truck. It's autumn time and I want to pull the engine out, and it's not going to happen outside. It's just virtually showers every day. So I thought what I'll do is I've moved the Roadster from here and I've put the Roadster just outside the garage there on that side. I've parked the sedan there, and for a couple of days, 2 or 3 days, however long it takes, I'm going to take the motor out of the truck and put the old 59 Flatty in the truck. Now the old 59 Flatty was in the truck, but it had vibrations and rattles. I've told the story many times. So this engine has been rebuilt, rebuilt in inverted commas, and I want to see how it runs. I want to see how it runs in the truck. This motor is a French motor that I started to build as a race engine for the sedan. But what happened was I went through the valve bowl into the water jacket. So I drilled and tapped and plugged the hole, and this engine has been running successfully without problems in my truck for quite a while. I don't think I'd be telling a lie if I said like a year or something like that. So this engine's been in the truck a year and there hasn't been any problem with that repair. So it'll be interesting to have a look at that. This motor has kind of proved itself that the block is okay and worthy of further development, possibly. So what I might do is take this one out to 3 5/16 and build it up and get it running. Put a hotter cam in it, 1.6 inlet valves, and so on. I will now try and reacquaint myself with what is involved in getting the engine in and out of the truck. I won't bore you with showing it coming out, but what I'll probably do is when it is out, I'll mention some of the things that I had to do. Okay, open wide, say ah. I started removing the engine yesterday. Yesterday I took the radiator out, everything else that I could think of, battery and stuff like that. Today I jacked it up, I took the exhaust off, took the exhaust crossover pipe off, and I've undone the bottom 4 of the bell housing bolts. I've taken the engine mount bolts out. I've removed the floor mats and exposed all the transmission there. So I've taken the nuts off the engine steady rods at the front. So I'm thinking now there's not much that I need to do. I need to tie the bonnet back, tie the hood back. I'll probably just use a ratchet strap for that, and undo the bonnet stays. Yeah, undo those bolts there, and the same on that side there, so the bonnet can come back further. Right, and I'll put my bracket on and pull the motor out. I think if you can lift the motor low enough, like if you haven't got the inlet manifold on, you can just take it straight out without having to do anything with this. Okay, so yeah, let's I'll carry on then, and I'll get this motor pulled out. Back in a bit. Okay, I'm not sure what I've done wrong here, but the motor won't come out. It'll come out, but I've lifted as high as I can there, but it's stuck on the underside of the hood. I didn't look at any previous video footage of when I've lifted this one out. I've also become a bit alarmed about the way these chains are, because they could suddenly loosen at some point. They're not lifting right. So I'm going to have to put it back in, just let it rest down, and rejig my setup. Okay, I've reslung it. I took the carb off. I've checked these chains up as tight as I can go. I've took that thing off there and just put a little bolt in there and a thing through there. So I'm hoping that should be enough now. It's nearly enough there already. There's the motor out. So yeah, so basically if you take the carb off and minimise this distance from there down to there, you know, you're in with a chance. This is particularly shoddily made. I might try and do something to improve that. This has been parked outside, you know, for quite a while, so I'm not surprised there's some signs of rust here and there. I might as well take these manifolds off while I've got it hanging up in the air like this. Leave it with me then and I'll bring it back when there's more to show. Cheers then. Bye. I've got the old 59 hanging on the hoist. Note to self, don't try and put it in like that. Connect up the short link. I've put a socket on there to make it easier to wind this back and forth. I'll just put the exhaust manifolds on. Those are on. I can't put the exhaust crossover on until it's in the truck. It kind of gets in the way. I learnt that lesson last time. Okay, righto. I will bring you back when there's more to show. Cheers then. Bye. Hello, welcome to Mart's Garage. This is the old 59 Flatty and it's now sitting in the truck. I've just put the engine mounts on and it occurred to me that while I've got good access down here, it'd be good to do a little job. I've got to put a vacuum line from there to there. I don't think I have one that's shaped correctly. And what I rigged up temporarily was actually a couple of brake bleed screws. I cut the end off and had one screwed in there and I had one screwed in there. They're a 3/8 UNF thread. And what I've just done, I just went on the lathe and I kind of skimmed this one down a bit and you know, it started off exactly the same as that, and I've just skimmed it down, pull that hex back a little bit and reduce the end there. So I will do the same on this one and hopefully they'll fit in nicely and make a nice easy way to get vacuum from there to there. Just showing you that there's an alternative way to do things if you want to. Okay, back in a bit. There's the two fittings in place and the pipe put on. I put a little bit of Vaseline on the end of the fittings and pressed the pipe, and it took a little bit of pressing because it does have to expand a bit, but I think that's okay. You know, not a bad little job, right? It'll all just blend in with the plug wires as well. Okay, I need to do these up. I just noticed those. You know, that's where the hoist was connected. Okay, back in a bit. Just a helpful hint possibly for anybody doing a similar job. With my engine hoist, I take the middle out the grill and take the bumper off, and that allows me to get in enough to lift and lower the engine. Obviously the radiator comes out to take the engine out, but the point I wanted to make was that it's much easier to refit the bumper before you put the radiator back in, and likewise it's easier to take the radiator out and take the bumper off afterwards. So I've just put the bumper on. And I think the irons are a bit out of shape on this side because I had a real struggle getting the bolts in. This side wasn't so bad, but once you have the radiator in place, it's much more difficult to get down to those bolts down there. And for reference, the one bumper iron goes outside the frame and the other bumper iron goes inside the frame, so they sandwich the frame. So I'm just going to put the little rubber mats on there that go on there and put the radiator back in place. I'll show you another trick actually. There's the radiator, and what I did, I got some wire and just held the radiator hoses up like that so that they don't catch on things when you're taking it in and out. Then once you put it in, you can just take the wires off and put them into place. That's another sort of good trick if you're taking a 40 type radiator out, knowing that you will be putting it back in again shortly. You can leave it attached to the radiator at the bottom. Well, at least you can with my setup anyway. I don't know if other people would be different. Okay, back in a bit. Hello, welcome to Mart's Garage. It's mid-October and it's not very warm today, but I've come out to the garage because I've been working on my truck recently, and it's at the point where it's ready to run. Haven't put any water in it, but what I thought I would do is start it up, back it out, and then fill it up out there because I'm fed up of spilling water on the floor in here. I'll just give a little recap. I fitted the old 59 Flathead. This is the one that was in very bad condition and had a lot of corrosion at the top of the bores. It's been linered. It's been fitted with 45 thou pistons. It has, let me have a think. No, it has 59A cam, 59A valves. It's got a crab distributor on a adapter. When I bought this truck, an engine came with it, and because this truck came from Paynton, it's the engine I've called the Paynton engine. And I've took the crank out of the Paynton engine and the rods and fitted them into this engine, because this engine, all the rods were at all different lengths. So I'm hoping that this engine will run okay and be a good dependable power unit for the truck. So what I'm hoping to do is fire it up and take it for a little drive. I have run the motor on the Roadster test stand. Oh, the Roadster. And I'll just turn around to point at it and it's not there. The Roadster is outside under a tarp. I know that this engine runs. I think I've put it back together. Okay, so let's go and see how it drives. Well, it started up okay. Started up okay, so yeah, that's good. Let's get some water in it. I'll be back in a bit. I'm glad I chose to put the truck outside because I made ever such a mess. I wasn't trying very hard though. But the thing is, both the drain taps are open on the motor as well, so a load, you know, just started coming out underneath. Anyway, it's got some in now, so oh, must put the radiator cap on. Okay, I'll put the radiator cap on and we'll take it out on the road. Back in a bit. Sounds pretty sweet, doesn't it? That's fully warm now. You know, with the air filter on, you wouldn't hear that carb noise. Might be able to slow it down a little bit. It's alright, isn't it? Nice. Just a nice old flatty, 239. Can't turn that. Okay, let's see what the oil pressure is. Yeah, about between 10 and 15, about 12. That's not too bad. And I'll put all the rubber mats in. I will put all the rubber mats in and the air filter on, and it'll be quieter as well, won't it? Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. Just a good old-fashioned plodder of a motor. Not the plodder, the motor I call the plodder. This is another one. This was resurrected from scrap. Yeah, not bad. Not smoky. Okay. Okay, as regards the old 59 then, we'll call that a success. Hope you've enjoyed watching me tinker with it and you know, try and just bring it up to a decent spec. So thanks very much for joining me in the garage then. Take care, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye. Hello. It's a couple of days later and I'm aware that I didn't get any road test footage, so I'm going to go out for a little ride in the truck, just give it a little run around the block, just so I can tack a bit of road test on the end of the video. So I'll be back in a bit when we're underway. Okay, let's give the truck a bit of a run. Second run with the new old engine. Bit busy today. That's 40 psi, just like that. carpets or anything in, so it's a little bit noisier than normal. Nice and smooth. Which is good, isn't it? Because, you know, it always had that roughness before. It's about 45 psi on the oil there. And only about 150 on the temp. I have got thermostats in. There's the fuel there, 160.9 for unleaded and 182.9 for diesel. And the petrol for this one, which is the higher grade, is a bit more expensive than, it's probably about the same price as the diesel. It's quite drivable in modern traffic. It's, you know, it's all right. I don't know what that driver behind me is trying to do. Well, there's a 50 limit on the motorway, so I might not come back down the motorway. Not too bad. Cameras along here with an average speed, you got to do no more than 30 the whole way through. It's busy, isn't it? It's like, because it's Friday, it's like an early rush hour because you know, people finish earlier. I'll have a look, see what the motorway looks like. If not, we'll go around that way. Just driving along at these speeds, it's fine, isn't it? You know, nice. With the carpets in, it'll be a bit quieter. Let's see what the motorway looks like. A few brake lights coming on. Yeah, I think there's a speed restriction on, but we'll give it a run down there anyway. 60. Does it? Can you see it on the left? So much broke there. I'll slow down so you can see that wheel, look. The one on the other side is upright. So I need to go over to the left. Chop him behind. Can't see very well. If you look at that other wheel, look, it's upright, so that one on that side's all bent. So let's just have a think about this motor then. I bought this off a friend of mine. It came with a truck that he bought. And I might just put my lights on actually. Just put my lights on, side lights. And it had been stored upside down, which was good in many ways because it saved all the pan rails from cracking. But it did. I think there must have been ants inside the head, the you know, inside it. All the cylinders were badly corroded. And it was seized solid. This is the one where I did that rebuild series called the old 59. So I bored it out, sleeved it. When I was knocking the pistons out, I broke one of the cylinders, so I brought it out and slaved it. Oh, sorry, yeah. I forgot, I brazed it up. I brazed the crack in the cylinder up, and it cracked again. It's all in the series if you want to go back and look. And anyway, like I say, poured it out, lined it, sleeved it, and I put brand new, old stock 45 thou pistons in it. So it's got brand new Mercury pistons in it, 45 thou over. It, put it in this truck. I actually put it in the sedan, but when I was running it on the sedan, just on the chassis, it oiled all the, glazed all the bores up, so I took it out again, re-honed it, put it back together again, put it in the truck so I could drive it. Drove it and it was okay, it ran okay, except it had a lot of vibration. So the first thing I did was pull the engine and had a go at balancing the flywheel, which improved it, made it okay. That meant I could run it at higher speeds. When I did, it started rattling really bad. So I pulled the motor and just let it on one side, just let it sit on one side. When I did let it sit on one side, but before I did that, I noticed one of the pistons was hitting the head. And then I investigated and and what I found was that all the conrods were different lengths where they'd been resized. So I just let the engine on one side and forgot about it while I concentrated on the big inch flatty. No, I'm lying. So I just left it on one side while I concentrated on putting an engine together for the sedan. After I'd done all the work on the sedan with the engine and the rebuilds and stuff like that, I got this engine out again and started having a look at it, and when I bought this truck an engine came with it that I didn't use, and it was that one that I pulled apart and it was all full of sludge, really all sludged up. So I cleaned all the crank, I cleaned the crank and the rods and the bearings and just put them in this engine, and it's got a fair bit of wear on it, but I thought, well, just for an old bladder to pull this truck about, it'll be fine. And that's how it is now. Part of that job was converting the crank, the rear seal on the rear main, to a rope seal, which I kind of did in a homemade way using JB Weld. So that's part of the one of the things that I'm interested in with this, running this motor. runs a bit, you know, you can tell it's got a few miles on it. Maybe a bit of little head noise or something. Call it good at that for now, and I'll have a chat when we're back at the house. Well, that's weird. Shall I put the fan on? Yeah, it's a little bit low. Fan. That's funny because it's a bit smoky now. That's funny because it's a little bit smoky now. It wasn't when I drove it last, which was a couple of days ago. Now the only thing I've done that's different is put the air filter on. I wonder if that air filter has made a difference. Weird, isn't it? Turn the lights off. I'll turn the fan off for a bit. It's nice and smooth, really. There's a little bit of mechanical noise, but you know, these are all old parts. Nothing was brand new in it except the pistons. Yeah, I think that's a reasonable motor for the truck. Seems happy enough. There might be something wrong with the air filter because it's oh, it doesn't seem so bad now. It needs a lot more thrashage, obviously. I need to thrash it more. Okay, righto. Thanks very much for following along. Thanks for hopefully listening to the story and at least seeing the motor running now back in the truck. It's about 12 psi idle, about 11, just over 10. So that's not too bad, is it, for an old engine? Thanks a lot then. Take care, and I'll catch you on the next one. Cheers then. Bye.